Hey guys, thank you for confirming your aeration and clicking the link. Don't go away, this is a very important video. You're going to want to watch all the way through. Very important information about your upcoming aeration. Okay, first thing is the schedule. You can refer to the email that this video came in, and that'll have your schedule. It'll be a 1 week window. Is what we can tell you right now. And then as we get closer to that week, usually about 2 to 3 days before, we will call you and let you know exactly what day. That way you have plenty of time to prepare. If for whatever reason you need to reschedule your aeration, we will have to put you at the end of the list, okay? If you have any scheduling preferences as far as weeks or end of the month or anything like that, please let us know as soon as possible so we can accommodate those rescheduling requests. But again, I want to emphasize, please don't reschedule your aeration 2 to 3 days before when we're calling to confirm. It messes up our schedule. Obviously it's inefficient. If for whatever reason something happens, something comes up and you have to reschedule, we understand, but we'll have to put you at the end of the list, which will be toward the beginning of October. For this application, payment is due upon completion of the job, okay? We spent thousands of dollars in seed and fertilizer, way more money than we ever spend on any of our other applications. So in order to recoup that as soon as possible, we do ask that payment is received within 5 days of the application being complete. If you're paying by mail, please put the check in the mail that day. That way it ensures it gets to us on time. If for some reason your bill's not paid on time, you will get a 10% late fee added to that visit. So please pay your bill on time. A couple things to do before we come. The first thing is to mark your irrigation heads if you have irrigation. You can do this by turning on your system and flagging it with a visible flag. You can pick up a bundle for just a couple bucks at a hardware store. This will keep us from hitting these areas or hitting your irrigation heads. Will go around these areas. If there's anything else you know of in the yard that may be hard for the technician to see, go ahead and throw a flag on it. It's not going to hurt anything. We'll just know to be careful in this area. If for whatever reason you need us to mark your heads, we will be happy to do that for you. There will be a $35 charge, and we would like to know that ahead of time so we can accommodate that extra time in our schedule. If we show up on the job and you have irrigation and the heads are not marked, again, we've done our best to give you plenty of notice. Obviously we won't be able to do that job, and we'll have to reschedule, in which case there may be a trip charge added. Hopefully that's not the case though with anybody. You will want to water 1 to 2 days before our arrival. This allows our machines to get the best depth into your soil, and allows for the best aeration. Try not to water the day of the aeration, but the day before or 2 days before is sufficient. You also would want to cut your grass a little bit shorter before this aeration. Normally fescues cut at 4 inches or higher, but this application we do ask you cut it at 3 inches. The reason is you're not going to be able to cut your grass for 2 weeks after the application, so it just allows your grass a little more room for growing. A couple things you'll need to do after the aeration. Like I said, first thing is to wait 2 weeks before mowing. In areas that are 100% new, meaning there was no grass there before and now it's all new seed, you'll want to wait about 4 to 6 weeks before cutting this area. You don't want the tires of the mower to kill that new grass. You're going to want to also water 15 minutes a day, every day, for 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how soon all of your grass germinates. Once you see all your grass germinating, you can stop watering every day and go to a regular fall watering program, which is 2 to 3 days a week for about 15 to 20 minutes per zone. Another thing that's very important, is leaves. We know some of you have a lot of trees, and leaves is an issue for you. Obviously, we want to avoid having to get on that grass within 2 weeks after our aeration. But after that, we do ask that you keep the leaves off. It keeps from smothering the grass. A rule of thumb is if you can see 50% or less of the grass, meaning 50% or more leaves are covering the grass, it's time to clean up the leaves. Avoid blowing with your blower directly down to the soil because there still is seed down there. Do it more of an angle as to, not get direct, air down into the soil. This will keep seeds from blowing around and blowing the new grass and stuff like that. Another very important thing is grass seed takes a minimum of 2 to 4 weeks to start germinating, okay? So what this means is that in a perfect situation, after 2 weeks, you can go out there with a magnifying glass and get on your hands and knees, and you'll start to see the grass germinating, okay? At 4 weeks, you should see all of the grass germinating in all of the areas. Please don't call us at 2 weeks and say my grass isn't germinating because it's not supposed to. We automatically schedule in revisits with seed. So we come out 4 to 6 weeks later, we have seed in hand, and we're ready to do any touch-up areas that's needed. So in reality, you really don't need to call us at all because we're coming anyways. But if you have any concerns, obviously, we're always here to answer those concerns for you. We just ask that you wait a couple weeks before expecting your grass to grow. We're just as excited as you are about it. It's going to be a good season. The weather's looking great already. Looks like we're going to have a good fall for good aeration and seeding. If you have any questions at all, please get in touch with us. And again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and look forward to getting your yard looking great. Thanks.